everybody, it's Crazycraft, and today I'm going to be doing a Mine-imator tutorial that I've done like 10 times or something, and all of them went poorly. So I'm a horrible explainer. But this time, I'm going to try to do a decent job explaining this garbage. So, first, let's search Mine-imator. We're going to type in Mine-imator. We're going to go Mine-imator.com and click this. We're going to scroll down and click download. So we're in Mine-imator. Now, here we've got more downloads and download installer. Now, just to say, 2.0.1 has more features than 1.2.9, but the problem is that you have to import worlds on 1.20.40. Once Minecraft update, then you have to keep going back to 1.20.40, which isn't just a huge deal, but 1.2.9 can import worlds on any version, like just any version. But I'll do Mine-imator 2.0.1 because it has more features. And of course, I'll just say to accept some terms and conditions, so easy stuff. So here we go, we've got Mine-imator here. Now as you can see, I've got a bunch of projects, but we're gonna make a new project. And over here, we've got a nice little well, not really nice, but just a plains area. Now, your first animation is gonna be bad. It's gonna be like that. I mean, not great. But first of all, don't worry. It'll probably be better than that because here I'm actually giving you a tutorial. Unless you already made your first animation, and if that's the case, it probably did look about like that. But either way, let's go into tempo here, and we're gonna do 60 tempo because this basically makes more frames per second, which is what we want. This is just a very simple Mine-imator basic tutorial. If this video gets 52 views, I'll do another Mine-imator tutorial, like maybe how to do a walk animation or something. Comment what you guys want to see next. But again, only if this video gets 50 views. Now, let's do just basic Mine-imator stuff. We've got body that we can bend. We can just easily just do this. We've got these tools right here, and sometimes if you see that you can't do anything, you're like, what in the world? Why can't I do anything? You have to click these. So move tool, rotate tool, and bend tool. And now we can do all this. Now, this takes a lot of practicing because you can't just do something, like let's just say we're trying to do an idle motion. You can't do anything like this. You can't do anything like this because this looks, even though that's pretty easy to make, it looks, I mean, come on, that is not realistic at all. Unless you're doing some goofy animation. So let me give you the first tip.
First, always make the arms rotate out away from the body just a tiny bit. Because he looks like he's in such a stiff motion, almost like he's in a marching position. Now, let me also say, Steve looks boring, and I don't really like him much. I mean,
he's a good default skin, I guess, but he's just a default skin. He doesn't just look great. I want a good, girl skin, if I'm being honest.
What did you say?
Girl skin, if I'm being honest. So we're gonna go into resource packs and just do all this. Doesn't matter where you put your little skin files. Now, if you want to create custom skins, you can always use Skindex Editor because that makes it where you can actually just make skins. But I recommend Name MC if you just want to get good skins. Just others, like good, especially good girl skins.
Nice.
So let's just do like one of my personal favorites, her. But I also want to make her a slim. I want her to be a slim. So delete. And also, this can be very annoying because if you move this camera, the other camera, this camera up here, is going to be what's showing everything. And if you're trying to use the work camera down here to, you know, like rotate stuff and everything, this will move too. So this is why you want to go into the workbench over here and import a camera. Because this, now we can move the work camera and it won't affect the camera that's actually going to be showing everything. So let's rotate this out for the body and the leg. And let's do that. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now, we can do anything we want. We can just do bend like this. We can do rotate. I mean, we can do anything we want. Now, first, I want to import scenery. And I was talking about scenery earlier, so let's actually get into what this does. So scenery is basically worlds. We go into the workbench and we see scenery right here. We can import a world. We've got all these Java worlds I have. And let's do 1.20.40 world. But actually, we can do anything. We can do anything below this world too, because if we did RR, I know I named my stuff random stuff, but this is actually a 1.19.3 world and it still works. I'm gonna do the newest 1.20.40 world. Got a ruined nether portal. Boy, you can import. In Mine-imator 2.0, you can, 2.0.1, I guess, you can import a lot more. Like, a lot more, because normally in Mine-imator 1.2.9 or whatever, it just fatal error. You can't do it.
Are you serious?
It's garbage. But I will admit, in all fairness, I can't brag about this one too much either, because if you put too much, it'll lag your project just so much. It is crazy. how much it lags your project. So I'm gonna get Ruined Portal because I want to see the at least. Cause it's good to not just see like the end of the ground like right here because this just looks dumb. I mean, just you just see the void now. Oh look, the void is here. That just looks dumb. We're gonna put some fog later to cover this up. I'm just gonna make it go pretty far out, but not too far out. I don't know. It does need to go pretty far out. So this will still lag your project a lot. I mean, we're talking like it'll lag so much. So we're gonna click Import Selection, and 132 blocks were found in the terrain that could be animated. This basically means that we can animate blocks like doors and trapdoors and beds, because you can't just animate a dirt block. You can't do that. So if you wanted to do an explosion, making it to where the blocks, you know, just flew out or something like that, you literally have to go into that same world, break the blocks, then go back in Mine-imator, import that world, and you'd have to like copy all the position keyframes and whatever. So it's tough since you can't mess around with individual blocks. You can only do some blocks like beds and doors. Alright, so that one will say, do you want to cast the 3D model of the scenery to instantly load it next time? This will require at least 334 MB of space in the project folder. Now, I will actually do it because it is annoying whenever I get into the project again, and it takes forever to load again. It just takes so long, so I will do it even though there's a lot of MB. But you can always delete projects too, so. Now we're gonna, especially because Mine-imator will just fatal error, at least 2.0.1, I mean, I'm so used to saying 2.0, but yeah, 2.0.1, it just fatal error just all the time. It is annoying. Oh, thankfully this isn't lagging too much though, so that's good. Maybe this is one of the advantages of 2.0.1, it doesn't lag so much. Because I feel like even whenever I have this thing on render mode, where basically it'll cast shadows and it lags more, whenever I was on 2.0, this would be about how laggy it was even whenever I was on shaded mode. Because I just put like so much world, but gotta admit, this does look pretty stinking nice, having this much world. So, Ruined Portal, let's get our little cute girl over here. So either way, this looks bad, because we can just see the end of that world, the end of the world, and that doesn't look good. So, the key to doing this is we're going to do a custom fog color. I mean, custom object. Or wait, no, custom fog color. And we're going to do height pretty high and fade size pretty high. But distance higher than, or lower than fade size. That way we can really not really see what's going on over there. It's going to be a little hard to do though. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to cover the end of this world. And this is why it's probably better. I mean, everything's foggy. Golly. It's probably just good to just stay like in the middle of your world. Like, let's just say about like right there. That's probably where you should probably stay. Unless the end of the world, like right over. Well, I guess there is a lot of world. But it is fine if you're pretty close to the edge of the world, like right here, because there's a lot of trees covering it up, so it's a little hard to see. And in all fairness, it is far enough to where you could probably have enough fog to cover that up. And if you're in a forest, typically it's going to be more foggy than usual. Now, what I'd like to do is, first, I do a sky background custom, because I don't really want the sun. It just does not look very good, in my opinion. So we're just going to make a blue sky like that. Just a fun little sky. Of course, it also depends on what you're doing. And we're going to make a kind of fun fog color, just like the same as the sky. Oh, so something like this is pretty good. Just enough to where, in fact, let's make even less distance and more fade. There we go. I don't know, maybe let's just do something like that. That looks pretty good. We've got a decent bit of fog, and yeah, I think that looks good. Now we need to make some camera effects. So, we need depth of field, because this will make it to where everything looks blurry out in the distance, which makes sense and it's realistic. Fade size, like 252. And I'm going to make even less focus range, like maybe like that. That's pretty good. Blur size, just somewhere in the like 1.75, 1.40, just something like that. Color correction, probably, let's do vibrance 50. Let's do some vignette. I mean 2.05.
You serious?
1.7. Actually, I don't think we need lighting. Okay, so we've got this so far, and it looks decent, but not great. So, I'll make a lighting tutorial later. This is just basic stuff. I'm showing you how to just make decent Mine-imator stuff. And I'll probably go a little bit more on, lighting. Alright, so now that we did our lighting, I've been trying to explain some stuff, and it's not working exactly good. So now we did our lighting, let's do this. So, I've got ambient occlusion on, which basically makes it to where It darkens areas that are less exposed to light, and I recommend 341 strength. Spotlight buffer size, big, which we'll get into spotlights later. Indirect lighting, basically what it does is make it to where, what does it do again? Bounces light off of bright objects, lighting more of the scene, which I like. Also make the grass, if you go to the environment, normally it's just plains and it looks like that. It just looks kind of dead, and I don't like, it just looks kind of dead. But if we do custom, we can actually change how green the grass is, and we can even make it look blue. So we can do some pretty cool stuff. But I like to make the grass look a little bit greener and not so dead, including oak trees, and probably even all the trees, honestly. So then we've got subsurface scattering, and I can't explain this to save my life. Honestly, I'm so bad at explaining, but basically what it does is it does this. See how there's like a little light right here? It's like whenever I have a spotlight, which I'll tell you what that does in a second here, but if we do 0, it just does that. But if we do 1 subsurface scattering, 1 radius, subsurface scattering, whatever, it's like it does that little thing. But again, I can't explain it because I'm horrible at explaining things. Thing is, though, this is useful for other things. Like, I thought you could do like a little rim light. There's also audio tracks where you can basically add audio in here. I usually use Premiere Pro, but you can use audio tracks here. You can do add sound, you can add music or a sound effect, like, Mine-imator's garbage. Yeah, I hate Mine-imator whenever it does this. So basically what happens is, if you have Mine-imator open for too long or something, it's like it just won't work anymore because it's a filthy pile of trash, which is unfortunate. So basically it just won't play the audio, so you have to like refresh Mine-imator or some trash I hate. So yeah, I'm kind of not liking this grass anymore. I want it to be like, there we go, that looks better. We got some decent lighting. So basically what we did is we just went over spotlights, we went over point lights, kind of. And of course, we learned how to import our skins. We learned how to do lighting, decent lighting, a little effects, because this does look decent. Of course, I'll make a better lighting tutorial. Hopefully I don't have to if this video doesn't get 50 views. I really hope this video doesn't get 50 views. Or if it does, I hope it gets a lot of dislikes. But if it does get a lot of likes, I will do another one. Anyway, make sure to not like this video, but make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Makes it to where you can actually import worlds on 1.2. I hate it.